Are we ready to get this show on the
Let's
road,
pop off.
Queens?
Yes.
Welcome to Court Captains, a volleyball podcast.
Where we talk all things Pro Volleyball Federation.
I'm Kelly.
I'm Nikki.
I'm Ian, and today we're talking a supernova of Big Bang proportions at the top of the standings.
Oh, wow, I
Sure.
love that.
Okay.
Nailed it.
That's something I love.
Let's get into what is a supernova?
I believe it's the death of a star.
And isn't that poetic?
Yeah,
And
you
that's
know?
the end. That's the
So
episode.
this was a self-fulfilling prophecy all along.
Yeah,
All along we
exactly.
knew
It
that
was a
it would
dying
come.
star the whole time.
Wow.
It was a big burn bright,
We got
and then
some
it burned
we
out.
got some things to talk about. Or we just think about. Everyone just go and
Yeah.
just ruminate on that a little
Some
bit.
things about
Yeah,
like concepts of nominative determinism,
Yeah.
what that means
right.
for
Yeah.
organizational philosophy.
Yeah. Wow.
Well,
Well, so
well.
yeah, they're on top.
So
All right, I'll see you guys
they're at
next
the top
week.
again. They're at the
This is
top again.
good.
What were we gonna do this episode? We're gonna talk about transactions page. Then we're gonna do the scorner. We're gonna do match analysis. You know, all the usuals. At the end, we're gonna do a little segment,
A little game.
a
Yeah,
little
I think
guessing trivia game
between Ian and I,
between y'all two.
we're
That's right.
facing off.
That's correct. Oh yes, it's competitive. It's going to be
Nicolas Cage.
very
Yeah.
competitive.
Well, we'll see. I make no promises about my competitiveness in the category.
All right, so things that happened on the transactions page, just things that don't mean anything in some ways. Columbus put Ashley Wentz on the practice squad and moved Beta Dumancic to active roster. That's an opposite and a middle blocker. Not sure why those swaps were made exactly. We haven't seen much of either of them this year. Then Mojo puts Devin Robinson, rookie out of Wisconsin, middle blocker slash opposite, to the active roster and moves Reagan Pittman to the practice squad. Now, Reagan Pittman had some really great matches. So is this a minor injury that leads to practice squad? I really hope so. Otherwise, it doesn't make a lot of sense to me.
Yeah.
I know she's had some like medium games, but I think at the beginning of the season she was fighting something off. So maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. Or it could be one of those situations. What was it? Morgan Lewis, they put her on the practice squad so she could go to her sister's wedding.
Mhm.
Maybe it's something like that.
Could be. Could be. Then I think that maybe Amy Pauley is going to yo-yo in the eyes of Ian again in terms of favorability because I don't know what the hell is going on here. So Michaela White had been on the practice squad since January, late
She was on
January.
a sneaky practice squad.
A
We
sneaky
didn't
practice
realize.
squad. We didn't really know for sure. She got pulled to active on the 14th, and Aaron Olson, the third setter, got put on practice squad. And then on the 16th, that just switched again.
Yeah.
So Michaela
I mean,
went
I
back to
assume it
practice
was
squad.
just for because Michaela
Aaron
was
back to active.
on the bench for the Omaha game, but she didn't get in. So I assume it was just kind of like a in case of emergency middle blocker situation.
Right? That maybe one of their middles was feeling weird.
Yeah.
I mean, we can assign all kinds of speculation, and we do.
Yeah, we will.
We will. We
And
will
we
blindly speculate.
will. So I'm trying to control F and it's not working. Is Hannah Pukas on injured reserve right now?
Let me look.
I don't know why I can't do a
Calculating.
control find.
Yeah, calculating Pukas. She is on short-term injury reserve.
Yeah. So Aaron Olson is their third setter. Now their second because of Hannah Pukas' injury. So that makes sense to me for Aaron Olson being on active as a backup setter.
Yeah.
Maybe there was something going on with the middles where they needed another, but they also have Abby Hansen that's on the bench. So it's not like MK White, even on the active roster, is third. She's one of four.
Hmm.
I don't know. And then the Valks waived Maddie Bilinovich, rookie out of Creighton, who they signed to the practice squad in January.
Yeah.
So, a whole lot of nothing, really, is what we have to tell you. So, that's really it on that front.
Yeah.
Is it time for the Scorner from a very, very busy week? Ian Scorner.
It began on my littlest sister's birthday, Thursday, March
Ah,
13th.
amazing.
And it was first San Diego Mojo at Orlando Valkyries on the Roku channel again. San Diego knocked off the then top of the standings Valkyries in a 5-set win on the road. Orlando actually took the first at 25-17, and then the Mojo came back. They won 25-16, 25-15 in the second and third, before dropping the fourth 15-25, and then winning a close fifth set 17-15. San Diego finished the match hitting 204 to Orlando's 170. But they were absolutely on fire, especially in the third set. They hit 500 in that set, led by a big 8-kill set from Maya Tabran. She had 15 for the match, 8 in that one set. Kendra Dahlke led the team overall with 20 kills at 254, and Ronica Stone also had 6 blocks with her 9 kills on the day. Orlando, again, led by Brittany Abercrombie, who had 18 kills, hitting in the 200s. But outside of her, it was a really inconsistent day as a team. They started off hot in those winning sets, second and third. They hit in the 300s and 200s. Other than that, they hit under 100 one of their sets, and then in the hundreds for the others. So it was a bit up and down. Kaz Brown still had a good game, 9 kills at over 300 and 5 blocks. All right, also on the 13th. Atlanta Vibe at the Grand Rapids Rise on YouTube. The Vibe went to Michigan and they dropped the Rise in 4 sets, winning the first 25-23, losing a close second 27-25, coming out of halftime winning 25-16 and then 25-22 to finish the match. Pia Timmer, one of 3 Vibe players with 13 kills, but led the pack percentage-wise. She had 333, while Mara Beeson and Leah Edmonds were both in the hundreds. Corey Lewis, also a good game, 6 blocks along with her 6 kills, and as a team, the Vibe had 6 aces on the night. The Rise hung the Vibe defensively. The Vibe only hit 186 on the night, but the Rise themselves couldn't do too much on the offensive side. They hit 173. More digs in this 4-set game than both of the 5-setters that also happened on the 13th, so that's interesting. Lots of long rallies. Carly Snyder, good game, 16 kills, 277. But her other hitters, tough day hitting behind her, a couple negatives in there, so that was a rough one. All right, last game on the 13th. Omaha Supernovas at the Indy Ignite on YouTube. Omaha completed the reverse sweep in a long battle in Indiana. Indy took the first set 25-21, the second 25-18, and then Omaha won 25-20, 25-23, and 15-13 in the final 3 sets to win. Absolutely epic game from Rajani Teeler, made all the more classically poignant by the Supernovas eventually defeating her and Indy. She finished with 31 kills on 60 swings, hit 350. For good measure, she added 3 blocks and an ace. Team played pretty well. They hit 240, but just couldn't get out in front with any momentum in those last 3 sets. Omaha just closed that much better. They finished the match hitting 262, led by Brooks 17 kills. And Allie Battenhorst 16 kills, hitting 282. A lot of really good work done elsewhere as well. Kayla Caffey had 5 blocks with her 8 kills and 400s. Caitlin Horde, 4 blocks and 6 kills, almost 400. And then Kelsey Payne, also 8 kills in the 400. So really good stuff there. Fun game. All right, Friday, March 14th, Vegas Thrill at the Columbus Fury on VBTV. Columbus impressive in front of the home crowd. Took down the Thrill in a sweep. They won 25-22, 25-21, 25-23. Isabella Rapach again bossing it. 20 kills at 333 in only 3 sets. Raina Terry had another nice game. 11 kills at 207. Every set pretty close into the 20s, but the Fury did a good job building leads early in the set, seemed like. And really at the end, just had to go to Isabella Rapach each time. And that worked for the win. Vegas hit 151 to the Fury's 238. And again, just really didn't seem like they could get in rhythm passing the ball. Bright spots from Willow Johnson, who had 9 kills at 6:43, and Morgan Stout, who had 9 kills at 5:29, but really nothing else anywhere else. Hannah Maddox finished with a glaring negative 385 with 2 kills on the match. And that marks the seventh loss in a row now for Vegas. You got to go back to February 7th, pre-All-Star game, to find their last win, which at the time took them to 7-2 at the top of the standings. They're now 7-9. So rough. All right, Saturday, March 15th, Indy Ignite at Grand Rapids Rise on YouTube. Indy turned it around after dropping the first set to win in four in Grand Rapids. They lost the first 25-22 and then won 25-20, 25-19, 25-22 to win the match. Indy again really impressive without Lekator. It's been good to see. Teeler had 11 kills and 3 blocks, but wasn't really hitting super well. Ended up at 143. Indy turned elsewhere. Anna DeBeer and Carly Scott both had more attempts than Teeler. DeBeer finished with 13 kills at 226, 3 blocks. Carly Scott had 15 kills at 353 with 2 blocks as well. Lydia Martin also had a good game, 8 kills at 500 with 3 blocks. The Rise again led by Carly Snyder, who had 18 kills, hitting over 300, but the team as a whole didn't do too well hitting, finished at 184 to Indy's 281. Allison Bastianelli, another good game with 8 kills at 389 with 3 blocks on the day. All right, San Diego at Atlanta on YouTube, same day. Atlanta gave us the second reverse sweep of the week, took down the Mojo in five. Mojo won the first 25-15 and the second 25-23 before losing 25-19, 25-23, and 16-14 in the last 3 sets. Really a tale of two halves for the Vibe. They struggled hitting in those first 2 sets. They hit negative in the first, and then they came out of the half a completely different team. They hit 455 in the third set on their way to finishing the match, hitting 213 overall. Pia Timmer again, most swings, most kills. She finished with 17 at 260, and Corey Lewis hit 360 with 14 kills as well. Mojo wasn't quite as extreme and up and down as earlier we saw in the week in the first reverse sweep, but they definitely lost steam in the second half of the game after they started fast. They finished the match still out hitting the Vibe 232 to the Vibe's 213. They had some good chances in the final set. They were up in both the fourth and the fifth sets late, but couldn't quite finish them off. Maya Tabron, 20 kills at 255 with 3 blocks. Definitely a bright spot. Kendra Dalkey and Ronica Stone both had 15 kills, and Stone hit 375, but they couldn't overcome the Vibe. All right. Last game of the week. It was a big one. Omaha Supernovas at Orlando Valkyries on YouTube. Omaha reclaims their top spot in the league with a 4-set win in Orlando. They won the first set 25-23, dropped the second 18-25, and then finished 25-22 and 26-24 to win in 4 sets. Really, they overcame a dominant Orlando serve to hit 232. The Valks finished at 167, led on the night by an incredible Allie Battenhorst team again, 22 kills, hitting 362 with a block and an ace. Orlando finished the game with 9 aces on the day. Natalie Foster had 4, but they couldn't really get anything going offensively. Kaz Brown still had a nice game, 11 kills at 400 with 5 blocks. And Lindsay Vanderweide had 9 kills, hitting over 400 as well. But they were the only Valks hitting over 180 on the match. Kind of the first game in a long time that Brittany Abercrombie had a little bit of a tough day. She finished with 13 kills, hitting 136. So I don't know, maybe some other teams will be watching the tape on that one. And that was the week.
Thank you, Ian. Where would you like to start?
I just want to acknowledge
Yeah.
that for any position, how difficult it would be to not start and then have to go in when your counterpart maybe is not doing so great and feel like you have to make a difference. It's just difficult to do, especially if like you haven't started before. There's a lot of mental aspects to that, and just want to shout them out.
Who are you shouting out specifically?
I don't know. I was looking at the Vibe match specifically. Like Merritt
Mm,
Beeson was hitting negative, and then
yeah.
yeah, Aiko Jones came in. But this happens all the time.
Mhm.
So just was trying to keep it general.
No, it's a lot. It's very stressful, especially at this level, especially when it's like your career could
Right.
be done.
And you feel like this is my shot to
Yeah.
show that I can make a difference.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So that's my
Well,
general
even
observation.
in game, like when you guys have been talking about middles, it seems hard to know that like you might only get 12 tries in a game.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you're not somebody that
Yeah.
gets to have 40 swings and you know there'll be another chance for you. You might only get four more on the night. So
Yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
hmm
And if like you mess up the first two,
it's like I'm not going
chances
there.
of getting more are even
Yeah.
lower. I mean, I'm sure at this level, they understand there are many aspects to why a hitter gets an error, right? It's not always 100% on them, and you can try different avenues to get them a kill, but still.
I mean, that's something that's interesting, and here I am. I'm gonna talk good about Omaha
Oh,
Whoa.
shit.
What?
because I'm a journalist. They both laughed so hard at that. Here's the thing. Reagan Cooper getting the sit instead of Allie Battenhorst had a great match against Orlando. And my question is, who played against Indy?
Reagan Cooper played the first set, and then Allie came in for
Okay.
sets
And
2 through 5.
same thing for Emily Londot, first two sets. Our player of the week last
Yep, the
week.
curse. I mean, she hit
And
200.
then
It's not awful, but
it was fine, but Kelsey Payne did great.
yeah. And
421 in that match against Indy.
and then she played in the next match.
And then
I
she
mean,
played in the
okay,
next one. That
I
that's a
gotta,
big deal too to fight and get your spot back.
yeah, I commend the coach for just being like, okay, you know what, this worked last match. Let's try it again.
hmm
Yeah.
Although Kelsey Payne didn't hit as well
No,
against Orlando, but I thought she was a really great presence.
yeah, I gotta
She
be
flagged
honest.
a couple
I
times.
I didn't realize that Allie Battenhurst came in against Indy
hmm
because when I was watching, because I did not watch that match, but then when I was watching Omaha play Orlando, I was like, well, oh, this makes a lot of sense to have her come in to block Brittany
Right.
Abercrombie.
hmm
But now you got me questioning, like, oh, was that actually a strategic decision, or was it just, hey, you played well when you finished last game, let's keep this rolling?
Yeah, from
Yeah.
I don't
before.
know.
I mean, Omaha has stayed very consistent with their middles, but at least at this point in the season, we've seen all of the other positions switch a little bit,
Hmm.
including Mac Pedraza setting the entire
Yeah,
match against Orlando, which I was surprised to see. What did
same.
you think about that?
I was shocked by that.
Shock and
Um,
awe,
I was also confused at the times that they chose to have Natalia come in.
just to serve a couple times, right?
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. It really surprised me because I'm like, I feel like all these hitters at this point are very used to Natalia, but
And she's been so good,
yeah.
but she is 35. Now, I do remember that on this very podcast last episode, a mere one episode ago, I said I would stop judging players in their 30s. But is she on her way out? I don't know.
You know, not
Now
everybody's
listen.
Kelly. Not
Okay,
everybody can play so
No,
effectively into
now
sure.
their
listen.
middle age.
Now listen. They're all doing a thing that's very different than what I'm doing. Okay? I get
Definitely less
breaks.
demanding.
I get breaks. No one's asking me to lift,
But no one's asking them to sort through data.
All day long.
all day long.
Exactly.
My eyes are tired.
Beep, boop, beep
And then
Exactly.
I
on that
go
keyboard.
How
and
do
then
you
I
make
go
that
play
read?
and then I go play volleyball.
Honestly, studies show that
Women
can
are so
actually be
strong.
worse for you because
I
sitting is
got
the new smoking.
no, I gotta be
So you were smoking all day long.
I gotta be honest though. I staring at a computer all day does mess with my depth perception.
Hmm.
Do you
Oh, for
all feel
sure.
that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially when I play The Sims all day. Well, so Mac did come in partway through the indie game.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
And
Yep.
that was a reverse sweep. So maybe they're like, yeah, I got to keep rolling
Yeah.
with that. But I have to say that against Orlando, I did not find her setting to be very consistent. 8 foot line, 9 foot line. I mean, only when you watch a lot of setters be unbelievably consistent do you start to recognize that it's hard. You know?
Yeah.
I think I've said that before. Like you don't realize how good a setter is because that them doing amazing is just them being unnoticeable.
Mm-hmm.
But I just felt like It was fine. It was
I
fine.
I do wonder, it's like, okay, there's also the dynamic of like certain hitters play better with certain setters.
Oh, interesting.
And so like if you have Allie in and you want to play Allie to block Brittany,
Hmm.
maybe the move is to have Mac set be the setter because that's who they've been working with more or like connect with more.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And
Yeah.
maybe Allie does prefer a set a little bit off the net, which no hitters say they prefer, by the way. So many hitters are like, you can set me tighter. And I'm like, you can't handle that. What do you mean?
You can't handle the tight
You
set.
can't handle that tight set. You're 5'3". But that's not what's happening here. And it's possible that Allie plays better with a little more space in order to see the block, etc. But that's a very interesting point made by Kelly. She did connect pretty well with the middles. Well, with Kayla Caffey, I would say. Although, how many kills were had by Omaha on overpasses? I don't have that stat, but Orlando overpassed all fucking game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
Orlando's
don't
passing was
know where that stat
and,
is. I
and
just
that
thought
is
it.
and that is the reason why Courtney Schwann kept playing even though she wasn't hitting very well because she is such a good passer.
Right.
Mhm.
And she managed. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess sometimes Adora's passing is the thing that could fall
Yes.
apart there.
Yeah, but sometimes it's also really good.
But sometimes it's also very good, so it's very hard to say.
And
I
then
will say that
like Lindsay's passing against Mojo was good.
oh, sure. Well, she had a little bit of that extra fight in her from her old team.
Ah,
Um,
also a consideration.
Revenge game.
revenge game. I think that Amy Pauly took some heat in this game against Omaha for not changing her lineup enough, and I disagree. She got Adora out of there when she was hitting negative. She tried somebody else. I think it was Lindsay Vanderweide, even Shannon Scully for a little bit. No one could figure it out in that
Yeah.
position.
Yeah.
Vanderweide was good late, but she only got the 20 chances because she came into the second half. I don't know
Yeah,
going into next week how that'll look. But
they were having trouble blocking her. It was actually kind of fun to watch.
Yeah, because they hadn't scouted it in the same way they knew they needed to figure out Brittany Abercrombie. Like, these were some of the longest rallies. This was a very great match overall. I think it could have gone either way, especially because overall, Orlando was 2, 4, 5, 6, 7 points away
yeah.
in the set that they lost. And this is
Yeah,
where we
no, it
have
was
like
super close.
a bit of a situation like Atlanta last year, where Atlanta was winning every single tight set.
Omaha's in that situation right now.
Omaha's doing that this year.
Yeah, it was the same against Indy in the five setter they had earlier in the week, and I don't know, that was the same, in the five setter against Indy, they also made like they were so much better. I mean, it was a reverse sweep. Obviously, they were better in the sets that they won, but it was noticeable coming out of the halftime break. I don't know who got pissed in the locker room, but it was a very different story. And yeah, like that's impressive. They won both of the last two sets in that game by two. So it's still close games, but they're really consistent at the end of those sets.
Mhm.
The mental fortitude.
All right. Another headline that I feel we can discuss. What happened to Orlando against San Diego? Can anyone tell me?
That was another, like that last set, 17-15, really close, but that was the one where it was just so inconsistent. They
Mm.
hit 25 in a set, they hit 357 in a set, and 125. It was all over the place.
Up and down, up and down.
Hmm.
Indeed.
I mean, we saw Lindsay Vanderweide get the start there. I know this is earlier in the week. We're going back in time. Stick with us. But Natalie Foster came out in that one. Abby Hansen in, hit zero.
Yeah.
Adora comes in at the end, hit negative. We just didn't have an answer. And in that instance, you can't. Brittany Abercrombie hitting 224. I
Yeah.
actually don't know why Lindsay Vanderweide came out. She hit 238 and passed 71% positive. I guess after three, they're down two sets. Maybe you're like, let's just shift something around, but it didn't work.
Yeah, that's an interesting choice. I don't understand that, actually.
No, she
You're
wasn't
right.
the problem child,
No.
like,
Yeah, and I mean, this is kind of a similar theme because then against Omaha, like Brittany Abercrombie, like 224, great.
Yeah, good for her
However,
right side. Not good for
it's
her, but
it's not like the numbers that she's been putting up before. And so, you get accustomed to a certain lifestyle.
that's called lifestyle creep. Do we
We're
think Brittany
just
Abercrombie's sitting in her apartment in Orlando right now? Like, oh no, have they figured out what I have? And they is the whole league. Like, have they gotten enough tape on me?
I don't, no, I think she's good enough. She can handle it. We're all allowed
she's probably
bad
just
games.
pissed.
Sure.
She's gonna come out mad.
But you won't see it on her face because her face
She's gonna
never
have 25
changes.
kills
It
their
was
next
like
match.
pretty depressing to watch her against Omaha. Like, they just had her number. It was
They were
sad.
selling out for it.
You
Yeah,
know, I can't stand to see the Valkyries lose,
I know.
Nikki says
especially
this currently in a Valkyries
As a
sweatshirt.
as a
and
journalist,
Yeah,
listen.
as a
I didn't
journalist, this is where'd you go to
I didn't
journalism
I can't
purchase
believe
school?
she's
this.
the most unbiased person on this
I,
Yeah.
podcast
I didn't
who
purchase this.
proudly proclaims that she's
I
a
didn't yeah,
journalist.
you didn't purchase it. They purchased you with a sweatshirt, Nikki.
What
I
can
re-
I say? I do love the Valkyries.
Mm,
I think that it gives my
suspicious.
character some depth.
Very suspicious.
Oh, we have characters now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh,
for
interesting.
real.
Anyway, yes, we don't know why
Anyway,
Lindsay was taken out.
Atlanta's performance this week.
Yeah, let's talk about Lana.
Because
Moving right
they're
along.
coming alive.
Yeah, they are.
They're not slumping like the hosts. They're doing what they can.
They're up
They
up to number 3.
two really good wins this week.
Yep.
I think that Grand Rapids is playing well. So when this thing
really?
happens to them, I mean,
Despite losing twice at home this week.
that's what I'm saying is
Incredible.
that it's not going well in the end, but I feel like they've got stuff cooking.
Carly got out of her
Mm-hmm.
uh her curse.
Yeah, her
Of
player
a
of the week
curse.
cares. It's been
Yeah.
passed on.
She
But
like
Chimay couldn't
burned some
hold.
talisman or
It
something.
follows.
Right.
Yeah, no, she just passed it to another player and was like, I'm sorry, you have to deal with this now. It's
Yeah.
not my
She
fault.
gave it to Emily London. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, really, Chimay on her own team, I feel that she gave it to.
Mm.
Well,
Well, so
but
like
then it's not the
that's
player of the week curse.
Oh,
You got to follow the thread,
yeah,
Nikki.
my
exactly.
that's really my
I
bad.
mean,
If
way
we're
to
talking
kill the
about
bit.
character development and stuff, we do
Yeah,
need
way
to
to
keep our magic system consistent.
exactly. Way
Listen,
to curb
just like
stomp the
mute
bee.
me. I'll just mute myself, actually.
Okay, great. Yeah, just Ian and I.
But like their indie game, we talk a lot about passing, and that was one where they actually passed better than Indy. There's a little disparity there, but it doesn't translate necessarily to good
Setting
scoring.
choices,
Yeah,
perhaps.
necessary. Yeah, good offense all the time.
Yeah.
That was my question, like that I wrote
Yeah.
down is I agree. Like they still seem good. Like the pieces are all there. They're not playing
Yeah.
really poorly, like or as inconsistently as some other teams that we've seen, even Orlando in one of their games. But it's still not this week, at least translating to any wins.
Yeah.
They played good teams, obviously, but they're all good teams at this point. There's only 8 of
Yeah.
them.
So when I see really good passing, which like 60% is good passing, and then I see one of our outsides, all of her errors are by being blocked. That's either a setting problem or a outside hitter skill problem, but we know that Paige can
Yeah, you
hit.
got to name names. Name names on that.
Yeah,
That's
sorry, I
PBR.
was being a little general,
Yeah,
but
No,
Paige
that's
Briggs, but
fine.
also Najee, like same issue. I mean, she had
yeah, yeah,
was blocked 3 times.
yeah.
Or is the
So
other team just blocking really well? I mean, you've got a
true,
Johnny Teeler.
true. Who's like playing
Notorious
out
put
of
up
her
numbers.
mind lately?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see Johnny's one-handed block this weekend? This week?
No, but that's amazing.
I'm gonna repost it
Yeah, you should.
because she's the queen. It was the most athletic, incredible, beautiful thing. It was just so cool.
Well, that's what I said like in the read about her loss to the Novas is like it was very Greek tragedy. 31 kills. They still lost, but like she was by far the best player on the floor in the
Mhm.
game. Epic. Epic to see.
She's so good. She's really the come up. This is an interesting thing that maybe we can make a segment later, or like, last year we did a bonus of our all-star team, and obviously we all collectively voted for our all-star teams in week 2 of this season. So we won't be able to replicate that, or it won't mean as much. But I think what could be interesting is like giving our little, in high school, those silly little superlatives, most likely
Oh,
to,
Yep.
or
yeah,
like, we
most
could make up
likely
our
to have the
own.
best hair.
I was thinking that we could do like a best come up from season 1 to season 2. And spoiler alert, mine will be a Johnny Taylor, but like we could make
Yeah,
up
Yeah.
some different awards. So maybe that's
I
our
like
next
that.
our bonus episode of season 2.
Yeah.
Some like season 1 to season 2 shifts, and I mean
Most
definitely I'm
improved.
interested in like who would be the most fun to party with. I'm
Whoa.
interested in who encourages you to get a full 9 hours of sleep.
Hmm.
Trying to pretend that we know who these people are. So if you, listener, have any ideas about what could go on this superlative list, please let us know. DM us.
Because I think that's fertile ground for just some hilarious commentary about
Oh,
the
thanks,
PVF.
Ian. Thank you so
Could
much.
get real good. But
It could get good.
also, do you want to talk about the vibe now?
Yeah, we could do that.
Should we talk
Oh,
about the
okay.
vibe?
I mean, if
Let's
you feel
circle
like it.
back.
If you
We
feel like
talked
it.
about the rise. We talked also about Indy a little bit.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could talk about them now.
Pia Timmer stepping up.
Pia Timmer.
It's a regular thing now. Don't
Yeah.
do her a lot.
Yep.
Consistency there is growing. They played. Nope. Did they play once?
Nope. They played
Twice.
twice.
Okay, who was the second? San Diego. Oh my God.
Yep.
Yeah, the Moj.
The
The
Moj. That was
Moog.
The good old
the
Moj.
the reverse sweep, which
So
like
many reverse
Hmm.
Mojo
sweeps.
was living off of their match against Orlando, and and then
Yes.
Vibe said, "No, no, no, nice try."
Yeah, they had a lot of volleyball this week because even their four setter early in the week, that was the one that had more attempts than both the five setters on the same day. So
This Atlanta Mojo match, once again, Mojo serve receive. What's happening, gals? 39% positive, 18% perfect.
Whoa.
And yet still hit 232,
Mhm.
which was better than Atlanta. Did you say
Wow.
that in the scornery? In my bad.
Yeah, but like I just kind of mentioned it in the context of them having like a more consistent hit. Just Atlanta had one set where they hit like 500, out of the half, and
Hmm.
the Mojo just kind of hit around 230 the whole match.
Uh, it's all about timing.
Yeah.
I have to say, on paper, the fact that the team could serve 18% perfect. This is Mojo.
Yeah.
And Ronica Stone could still get 32 attempts and hit 375.
That's good setting.
Go off, Daeyoung. Go
Yeah.
Yeah.
off.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a
That's
really good game.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
And
last
now
two
I'm
sets were
like,
2 pointers. Like it was good.
well, now I'm trying to figure out like, were they very up and down? And so she was only getting all of those attempts sometime in certain sets. I don't know.
I mean, the thing is, it always comes down like this was a really tight match.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
They were
like
up.
it's hard to determine just from the
Mhm.
stats like where things
Sure.
and
Yeah,
it,
they
and
were
it
up
comes down to
like
energy.
16 to 12 in the fourth and 12-10 in the fifth. Like those were the last real leads they had in both of those last sets.
Hmm.
And then Atlanta was just they were hitting so well by the end of the match.
Yeah. Pretty good stuff. We've been all over the map, but we haven't talked about Columbus yet or
That
Vegas.
we can just talk about that. Yeah, that was both of their only game of the week, right?
Well, let's talk about Columbus versus Vegas.
Oh, wow. Isn't that perfect for us?
Wow.
It was
All right.
another, like we've talked about, same as the last one. Close sets, close match.
Yeah.
Vegas did not hit close to as good as the Fury, and like at this point, I don't know that they can take any silver linings
Dude,
out of these
They're
close
out.
losses anymore. Where it's like now it's seven in a row. Now no more silver linings. Now we're just like we gotta win one of these
It's
matches.
just linings. What are the linings made of if not silver?
They're butt
Butt?
linings. Yeah,
Did you say butt?
butt linings. Yeah, we're on the
I
same
said that
page.
too.
Are we friends?
Oh my God, we're
oh my
friends.
God.
Holy shit!
Kelly was thinking it. I don't know what to say about the Vegas. You said they're 7 in a row?
7 in a row. They were 7-2. I didn't believe it, so I went just back through the whole schedule. It was before the All-Star match that they won their last game. It was February 7th.
The standings used to say what the streak was
Yeah. But
in
they
them,
added
and
a
they
lot
don't
more of those
anymore.
like set stuff, so we don't get that one anymore. But yeah, like it's seven in a row now. A lot of them, again, have been close.
Sure.
Willow Johnson, huge game. Morgan Stout, really good game. Hannah Maddox, that was the one where she hit negative 385.
Yeah. You can't have an outside hitting negative. And in this case, Hannah and the person that replaced her both hit negative.
Yeah.
I mean, but talk about using your bench. Every single human being on that team got in at some point this game.
Yeah.
Yep.
They
They're
tried.
they're looking for something. And yeah, close at the end of them, but yeah, they were 7-2 at that point in February, and it's
Yike. That's
seven
the
and
like
nine.
most unfortunate swing.
It's a big one, yeah.
What did Columbus do well?
I mean, they hit really well, and
They were consistent.
it was Izzy,
Izzy.
Izzy.
20 kills in 3 sets.
It's like
And everybody else was
when Izzy has a good game and their outsides
do
don't,
just enough.
yes,
Do literally just enough. But that's
then
the
it's
thing.
good.
An
That's
outside hitting 207, Raina Terry, Kaylee Cox 182. That's fine.
yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
We've said like 250 is having a very good day.
And you know what? That's true for every team. If
Yeah.
they just one pin hitter has to hit really, really well,
Hmm.
and the other two have to just hit over 200.
Don't get blocked too much is the other part. Like, don't like just keep the play
Yeah.
going.
Well,
Yeah.
and that's Rapat. Like it was close into the 20s of all three of those sets, and Rapat ended up with like 8 kills in the last 5 points of every
Yeah.
set. So
So we're back
Gamer.
to timing, we're
it's
back to
just like
energy,
go to her and she will finish it. Yeah.
Yeah.
They
You gotta
literally
look at
just served to
everything.
Kaylee Cox, and
Yeah.
that was the correct.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, that was the correct scout, and it
Yeah.
still didn't matter.
No.
It wasn't enough.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Yeah, and Charity Looper didn't have like a bad game either. It just
Yeah.
not at the right times, I guess.
So then did Willow Johnson go in for Charity Looper all three sets?
But like
Yeah.
just for a sec? I don't,
I
because
mean,
she
she
didn't
got
start.
14 swings. She was really good.
Yeah.
Again,
Huh.
that's happened a bunch the last few games, but she's in that kind of,
Yeah.
yeah, spell role.
She couldn't have gone in for Charity if she would have gone in for Cameron. Or was it a dub sub?
Well, let me
It was a
look.
dub sub, I
It
think.
was
I
a
think it
dub
was
sub.
Carly
Play by
setting
play.
Yep. Good
and
sleuthing.
Carly just setting Willow a ton. That's pretty great.
Yeah.
It was close. I mean,
Yep. It was.
But that's
it's
the thing now.
so bad.
But
There've been a lot of
It's
those.
seven.
hopefully Vegas can figure it out.
How far out of the playoff
And
picture are they now?
or maybe
2 games.
Are we getting close enough
a
to
fun little
know?
trade needs to happen.
Oh, a
Well,
fun little trade?
a fun little
Kelly, do you have
trade.
any ideas, or that was just something you dropped
No,
in
I don't
there?
have any
What
ideas.
ab-
Tell
what
me.
about this idea though?
Yeah, tell me.
A not fun trade. A
Oh,
Oh,
cold, calculated business trade. Some
yeah.
sort
I
of
mean, that's I think what this country needs more of.
some sort of cutthroat trade that Vegas has to make.
like literally? We're talking murder?
I don't know what the
Oh,
insurance is like,
no, we're not talking
but if we're
Oh,
talking like
murder.
Luka Doncic level
right. We
blockbuster,
keep going back to this.
yeah. What is
I
it?
think
Go
it
big.
It's
would.
like what's a trade? What's a trade that like when you're in it, one of these coaches that are looking too closely at the problem, right? And they
Mhm.
think this is the genius move. And then we take a look
Mm.
at the macro level and you're like, you are the biggest idiot
Yeah,
in the
what the
world.
fuck?
Like what? Let's do that trade, right?
You go get. All right. So what about? You think you can pry Kendra Dalkey out of the mojo?
Why?
She's doing a lot of work. See
Hmm.
what she can do for you.
I don't
She's
think
on the
hard work is the
mojo.
problem.
Ronica Stone.
So you're saying within the league. I was thinking
Yeah.
like who can you get from
Go
abroad?
looking at the bottom of the table, the bottom of the standings, and see like who's really good on the Fury.
All right, let's go to our game.
Okay, let's do it. So we're the court captains, as you know. And I thought it would be a fun little game to see if Kelly and Ian can correctly guess each of the court captains on every single PVF volleyball team. So Kelly is number one.
I gotta say, I'm already having fun. I don't know about you guys.
And I'm doing it based on standings, right? So,
Sure.
Kelly, looking at you to tell me the Omaha court captain.
I mean,
Brooke.
Correct. It's
Yay!
Brooke Miller. Now, it has been NVA a couple times, but it's been Brooke more often. So I'm going to give you that point. Ian, up to you to tell me the Orlando court captain.
Oh, that's easy.
I mean, you would think. Is it a first-year player, though?
You don't get to ask questions.
On the squad. I'm not asking. That's rhetorical.
He's just putting it out there to the listeners.
Yeah,
His thought
I'm bringing the
process, etc.
listeners along because,
That's right.
I'm an entertainer. I'm not a journalist.
We know.
This is infotainment. I think it's Brittany Abercrombie.
That's correct. It's
Yes.
Brittany Abercrombie. She goes up to the ref to chat all the time,
Yeah.
She's always up there chatting. All right, back to Ian. That didn't make any sense. Again, it's Ian.
Uno reverse.
Back again, Uno reverse
Right.
to
Serpentine draft situation.
Atlanta's.
I mean, Lee Admond.
Oh, that is correct.
Yes.
Number 4 is currently Indy Ignite. This one goes to Kelly.
Difficult.
What do you got?
Sydney?
Correct.
Wow.
Ooh, good call.
Oh, we have a tie game.
Good call.
Sticking with Kelly. Number 5, Vegas Thrill. Who do you got?
Alicia.
Oh, that is correct. Amazing. Now
Well done.
we're over to Ian. Grand Rapids Rise. Who you got?
Oh, this is tough.
Hmm.
I don't know if I know this one.
I don't know if we know this one, but I'm gonna go with who I think it should be, and it's Allison Bastianelli.
That's incorrect.
Damn it!
It's August Rasky.
Do I get a steal? Oh.
Sorry.
We didn't establish the steal
We didn't establish the
rules.
steal rules.
I wanted a block queen as a core captain for somebody,
That's fair. Is it Ian again for the Mojo?
Ooh,
Yeah.
I think it might be.
All right. Let's go. Who we got?
I've run out of steam now. All of my
Mhm.
answers in the last one round have been wrong. So I think for this one, we're going to go with Veronica Stone.
You were correct.
Yes.
And your like desire for there to be a slide queen as the captain was just a little premature.
Yeah. We get
So
one in the
that's
league.
good. You get that one. And then Kelly, we've got Columbus now.
Okay, this is a little tricky because I know it's Megan Lush. However, when she's been injured, I don't know who it's been.
And you know what? I have on my paper here that it's Megan Lush.
Okay,
so
Nice. Good call. That's a victory.
that's a victory for Kelly.
Well, that was fun.
Thanks for playing.
Yeah.
I just thought we should really know if
Yeah.
we're the core captains.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay. I think it's time for a quick little Dear PVF,
Ooh,
and then we'll close this shit out. Dear PVF.
amazing.
I'm gonna need
Your timer,
a timer, yes. It's me, by the way, this week.
30 seconds.
Yeah.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
And action.
Dear PVF, thank you so much for not hitting us over the head with the kid stuff. Obviously, kids watch these volleyball games and look up to these players, and we love it. But thank you for not interviewing every single player all the time and saying, what does it mean to you that these children are here watching? Because sometimes pro athletes, they don't do it for the kids. They just want the glory and the profession. And women should be allowed to do that. Do we ask NBA players
Nope.
whether they do it for the kids? No.
No. Don't listen to this part of it.
Yeah.
Until
it's not
the
part of
clock
it.
is up.
30 seconds over. Great point.
Oh, thank you so
Yeah, that was
much.
good.
Was
Yeah.
that also a little subtle dig at love? But
Whoa.
yes, it was.
Maybe a little bit.
Man, I got a little lightheaded there. I was trying to talk fast and get my thoughts together, and it was hard. But everything's fine.
Good job. We needed that.
We needed some positivity.
Yeah,
Didn't
Be
know.
the
positivity, but at
positive.
the same time, backhanded handed thing.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Also, it's like a you better not do it.
You oughta.
Why you oughta don't start now, you know?
Of course.
All right, real quick. We don't do it every time, but I do enjoy taking a look at what's upcoming.
Yeah. Tell us.
So I'll let you know if I can remember what day it is. On Wednesday, March 19th, begins week 11 of the PVF. And we've got Orlando at San Diego. Oh, geez, a quick turnaround.
Oh,
Can Orlando avenge San Diego breaking their streak? That's a late one for the East Coasters. 10 p.m. Eastern. Thursday, March 20th, Vegas at Grand Rapids. That's on VBTV. And then at the exact same time is Columbus at Indy. That's on Roku. How I love thee. Friday, the 21st, we've got Orlando at Atlanta on Roku, 7 p.m. Eastern. That's the only game of the night. We move onward to Saturday, the 22nd. Indy at Omaha on FS1. Get your cable packages out. That's at 7 p.m. Obviously, I'll be rooting for Indy. I can't even front about
Late to the
that.
bandwagon.
Sunday the 23rd, we've got Atlanta at Columbus. That's a day game, 1 p.m. Eastern
Sick.
on CBS Sports. So really good distribution this week compared to last. One match per day, except for Thursday when they're at the same time. But hey, this week's Dear PVF was positive, so I got to get that in there.
so we get those points, you know?
For sure. All right. Thanks for listening to Court Captains of Volleyball podcast. Please give us 5 stars on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and like and subscribe on YouTube if you like what you're hearing. Support small podcasts. And if you don't like what you're hearing, then please just go ahead and mind your business. Follow us on Instagram at Court Captains Pod and email us your questions or comments at courtcaptainspod@gmail.com.
And don't forget to be the captain of your own court.
Here, here.
Huzzah!
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye.